Reveal downtown Phoenix at Cafe 1140. I have my beautiful real women author Awana here to help me today, January 9th, Thursday, downtown Phoenix at Cafe 1140. So I just want to give a quick snippet about Real Women Revealed. It was born on the premise of promoting self-esteem, self-worth, and sisterhood for women. We're going to be talking about do women have to be aggressive to maybe reach the next level in corporate America or whatever type of business? Do you have to, quote unquote, act like a man to get to where you need to be? So I don't know if that's true, if any other women have seen that, but I know I've seen that in certain positions where women seem like they have to be overly aggressive to fit in with the stereotype in corporate America. And I thought it was fitting to have her as my co-host for this show because she lived under a dictatorship for 20 years.
Yes, I was born in communist Romania many years ago. Not going to discuss that. And yes, I survived a dictatorship. I lived 20 years under the dictatorship of Ceausescu. They executed him in 1989. And in a way it is fitting because under terror, I understood that in a situation of terror and extreme human rights violation, women suffer twice. They suffer at the hand of their oppressor and they suffer at the hand of their men, which is kind of sad, but that's what I witnessed, obviously, growing up. And it's pretty... For me, moving here, I moved to the United States in 2001, and coming here, it was a culture shock, obviously. But
you didn't run into any dictatorship?
No. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my God, I'm free. But it was a cultural shock because I didn't expect. For us, it was maybe a little bit overestimated that here women enjoy full rights and all that kind of stuff. That I'm not a dreamer anymore like that. Okay. I mean, obviously they have more rights, but there's still a long way.
Okay.
And obviously I've had my share of experiences here as well.
We'll get into that.
But yeah, that's in a snapshot.
So yeah, thank you for that. We're gonna go get into the aggression. I'm gonna let Awana interview me, so I'm gonna be in the hot seat. Not all the time, but I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I'm going to be in the hot seat. It's not necessarily a hot seat, it's the Real Women Reveal seat, but I'm going to be in it. So, what are we going to talk about?
Oh, I want to ask you because we were talking on the phone a couple of days ago, and you mentioned an incident at school that involved your daughter.
Correct. And
I would like you to share that with more than just me. Because I heard a part of the story, and I thought it was very interesting and very revealing, actually, for our show tonight. So, please tell us what happened with your daughter.
Okay, no. It was so fitting because the incident that happened with my daughter, it happened at school. And so we're talking about women having to act like a man and the aggression. So I thought it was fitting after I found out about my daughter. She's in college, she plays college basketball, women's basketball, and she had an issue with the coach. I'm not going to get into the whole big story of it, but I'm gonna paraphrase and give it to you quickly. She got kicked off the team, basically. She's a scholar athlete, plays sports, dean's list material. I mean, you know, she's an asset to the university, in my opinion. And she came to practice. She was sick. She had the flu. She threw up 3 times during the duration of practice. And the coach was just so aggressive with her. She's played under coaches before that, you know, trust me, the Bobby Knights or whatever. If anybody know Bobby Knight, she's kind of played under the Bobby Knights before. So her making her tough or anything, that wasn't an issue. So she was sick. She threw up 3 times. The coach was like, "Hey, you need to be. Why are you slouching out there? Just pounding her." And then after practice, they have a break, like a water break. She went and threw up. And then she told the coach, "Oh, coach, I'm sorry, I'm sick. I got the flu." And she said, "And so what? We all sick." Get out there. When she was trying to explain to her why she wasn't her normal self. So the coach was just very aggressive. Like I said, she threw up 3 times. By the end of practice, to fast forward it, she went to the bathroom. The coach interacted with her again, and she just told the coach, "I was sick, I'm sorry, whatever. But why you didn't tell me you were sick before practice?" "Okay, well, I told you, whatever." She was like, they went back and forth, and basically she told her right then and there, "You kicked off the team." And she was like, "Well, excuse me? I want to speak, if I'm being kicked off the team, I want to speak to the athletic director." What does she say that for? That she wanted to speak to somebody else that was in another type of authority. It was a wrap. All she was doing, not being disrespectful or anything like that.
Yeah.
So basically, not to necessarily bore you guys, but that's basically the basic story. So she went around campus. She acts a certain way. She, just, you can't say 2 words unless she's kind of snapping in the aggression. So I'm just wondering, is this aggression, why do you have to act like this? Why do you have to necessarily kick a kid off the team who's a scholar athlete, dean's list material, over being sick? So, but her attitude in that, I'm saying all that to say, she feels that in my opinion, that she has to act a certain way at the university, so aggressive, more aggressive than the male coaches. She's more aggressive than the football coach almost, and the men's basketball coach. What is the aggression so much about? You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't figure it out. And my only thing is, when we start talking about the subject, do you have to act like a man to get the same, the results that you want to get? Or do you have to lose some of your femininity to fit in with your male counterparts? And that's my issue. So I kind of got that out my crawl. I've been in there for a while, so I need to get that out. So do you understand that she's more aggressive than the football coach in a sense, or the men's basketball coach? I just don't understand it. So after an incident like that, she just never came to practice drunk, late, no mind-altering substances or anything like that, to be off the team for something like that.
I don't know if she's more aggressive than men, or she expresses her aggression in a different way. You can be extremely aggressive and you may not reveal it really. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily about how you let that aggression flow around you. But perhaps you're right, and perhaps this is what you learned, that in order to succeed, you have to be aggressive. And there is a little bit of truth in that, sadly, that you have to be competitive. And that's one thing women need to learn. And women,
to be competitive, women need
exactly,
to learn. Oh, wow, I know a lot of competitive women.
To go after things.
Okay.
Now going off, topic a little bit, but
okay.
to go because women are traditionally used to get a lot of things without having to compete for them.
What do they do to get? What do they do to get?
A lot of
what
little things in life that men have to, men learn failure in kindergarten. It's
Right.
a fact.
Yeah.
They learn rejection. I mean, for God's sake, Audrey, men try to get laid every day and get rejected. You can cut that out if you want, but it's a fact. So you learn to get rejected, and that creates, a certain attitude. You will be more competitive. Now, I'm not necessarily agreeing with what she did, what
Correct.
the
Yeah.
coach did.
Gotcha.
Definitely
Gotcha.
no, because
Gotcha.
that's not the way to do it. You do not train with aggression.
Right.
I mean, I train dogs, among others, but
The 4-legged kind.
but you don't train with aggression. It's a fact. You train with with a calm attitude. You train with confidence. You have to instill that competition thing in your people.
Healthy
But
competition.
The healthy kind, right? But no, I don't necessarily think, I don't necessarily believe in that type of aggression, because you have to stay focused and you have to stay balanced.
Okay, I have a question. You said men learn failure at an early age.
Yep. And rejection.
Rejection at an early age.
It's a fact.
So, where do you think women we fail too? Do you feel we bounce back off of our rejection in a different way than men, or we can kind of bounce back quicker? Or overall, what's your opinion on that?
I don't think it's hard to say, but I don't think men handle rejection better. But they might not show it.
So when you let somebody go, when you got rid of somebody, did they handle it okay?
Oh, you're talking about relationships, or?
Well, I kind of zoomed into that on the side note, right? I slipped that right.
Yeah, no, I just gave that example. You know, maybe I was a little bit blunt, but that's a classic. You know, when men get rejected all the time, and you know, in their interactions and everything, and they're taught they have to fight for things, and women not so much. You know, culturally, and again, that's a very huge topic right now, and we don't want to go into details like that, but it's a fact. There's, for the most part, at least my culture and others, you know, that I know, they teach obedience. Mm-hmm. Now, that's a hard thing. When you're taught obedience, and in school you're not taught to be competitive.
So you know, were you taught, you weren't taught to be competitive when you were under the dictatorship?
That was a different situation, but culturally and historically, you know, that's a place where women have traditionally been smashed and treated like garbage for hundreds of years. So it's not, you know, it's not something that needs to be said, or it's there. And I've dealt with it all my life as a young woman, and you know, no matter how good I was, you know, I've been there, you know, standing in an office, and a guy, I did everything, he was just signing, you know, and it was my work, and it was hard work, and he would talk to another guy in my presence and go like, well, we have to talk, we're talking here like men, not like stupid women, right? And I wanted to crack his head, you know what I'm saying, but what are you gonna do, you know what I'm saying? You just keep going. You keep going. Strive to be better and better. You know, it was hard for me.
Yeah, it could be culturally. Like, I could see that with the culture difference. So before we end and move on to our next real women up in here, I am going to go back to the relationship part about it. You know, I got to just go to that. So, in your relationship, do you feel that, have you been rejected before in a relationship?
Oh, I've been rejected all the time. Okay. In many type of situations.
Okay. So in a relationship type, man, woman, or whatever relationship, have you let me ask you, have you rejected someone before?
Yes.
Have you just, it's over, I can't do it, it's a rejection?
Yes.
Do you feel that you handled that rejection better when you were rejected versus when you rejected someone?
No, well, I don't have a rejection as well, but that makes me even more.
You say you don't handle them well?
No, but that makes me even more, you know.
So so give me, what does that look like?
No, it's not about rejection here. Now, you always want to talk about my relationships, but it's okay. But it's not about rejection. It's about men only feeling that need to tell me that they're better. I don't say anything. I'm there, you know, hi, like, I'm smarter than you. Sweetie, I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? So it's about that thing where they need to let me know beforehand.
Why do you think they need to let you know?
They're probably insecure.
Okay.
But even so, it's like, you know, even so, you know, like, it took me years to understand that. But, you know, if I'm an animal behaviorist, so now I see it in different categories.
Four-legged kind.
You know, so I see it as a, you know, territory thing, you know, insecurity thing, and I'm very peaceful. I don't waste my time with that anymore. How should I put it? You know, it's just like, I'm like, you have a blessed day, bye.
Okay.
You know,
so you good on you? You're
good.
Fine with your rejection.
I'm
you don't
peaceful now.
slit tires or nothing like that.
Because you grow a thick skin in time. You know what I'm saying?
So have you ever slid somebody's tire?
Yeah.
Have you ever? Rejection. Have you ever did anything crazy like that before we did that? Have you been rejected? Have you ever did something really crazy, that Jerry Springer type stuff? Like slit somebody's tires, busted their window, just went in their apartment and poured bleach out. Everybody pour bleach on people's clothes now when I watch TV.
Why would you pour bleach on people's clothes? I have to bleach my clothes when I work with dogs, and I don't like it. I don't like that smell.
You just said you didn't have to reject it well, so I just wanted to see if you went, you did the put sugar in the tank.
Never ever in my life.
Anything like that's an old school one, right? Put sugar in the tank. Everybody might not know about that sugar in the tank.
I wish people.
One time I did that. One time I had a little box of Domino with the spout. But anyway.
No, I've never done that, and I
guess I didn't handle rejection well when I did.
I'm peaceful like that.
Okay.
Even when I was.
But yes, I did. Somebody asked me that. I'm going to admit that I did put sugar in somebody's tank before. It was a very, 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 very long time ago. So I guess I didn't have the rejection good thing, because I immediately went to the corner store, bought a box with the spout, and was just like, and that was it. So now I vented that out. I'm over that. I've grown. So
that's understandable, you know. Like I think we've all done, stuff like that.
So you're not gonna tell me something crazy you did before I let you go?
I didn't do anything crazy, That's the thing.
You just let it go.
I'm not.
Well, that's crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Let go.
Not to do nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't keep people around you. They don't want to be around you. I think that's a big mistake. Like you have to live in harmony and at peace with yourself.
That's right.
So I just I don't push it.
Okay. We gonna keep trying. Well, all right, we're going to bring up our next Real Women Revealed here shortly at Cafe 1140, downtown Phoenix. All right, we back downtown Phoenix, Cafe 1140, Real Women Revealed. I got my beautiful Real Women, Fatima, right here. And just tell them a little bit about yourself, Fatima.
Okay. My name is Fatima Halim, and I have a nonprofit organization, Life Paradigms Incorporated. And our focus is young women and women and incarcerated women. So we have leadership development programs, and we are just starting a program for young men called Sons, Saving Our Noble Sons. So it's very exciting, and we're excited about doing that. We've been in the community for over 20 years doing this kind of work.
Yes, she has. She has. Very well known in Phoenix, very well respected. So we're going to get right into it, because I know you know about her.
Still no money.
She just,
blueprintforwomen.com. There is a donation button. Feel free to donate to the young folks, okay? Thank you very much.
I like that. So, perfect to have Fatima here. We're talking about women, equality. Do we have to lose our femininity? Do women have to be so aggressive? Or do they have to have the mentality? Do we have to act like a man to excel in whatever type of job, whether it be corporate America? And I'll say this real quick. And the reason too we kind of talked about this subject, I don't know if everybody knows this, but sometimes I have been pulled over by a police officer over my years, and it seems like I always have more issues with the women police officers than I have with the male officers. And I was just like, wow, I mean, okay, you might get that same speed, oh, I'm sorry, how fast was I going? I didn't know I was speeding. You always say, I didn't know I was speeding, or whatever it was. But it just seemed like sometimes the women would just, whatever, the men, sometimes I might still get the ticket, but they were a little more cordial. So it was just odd to me. So I want to ask you, what's your thoughts on, do women have to have that aggressive tone to, and I'm not necessarily saying aggressive is a bad word, so I'm not going to say that aggressive is a bad word, and I can't think of a better word right now, so I'm just going to have to go with that. Do women have to be aggressive in the sense that they want to, quote unquote, act like a man to reach the glass ceiling or whatever we want to phrase that?
I think it's unfortunate that women have to be categorized as aggressive when they feel or when they push themselves forward.
Sure.
You know,
Okay.
they're categorized as aggressive. Men will do the exact same thing, and they're not. They're categorized as
Yep.
professional.
I get
So I think it's unfair for us to say women are acting like men. No, they're
Okay.
behaving the way they're feeling they need to behave in the circumstances that they find
That's
themselves
real talk.
in. Now, however, there are times when women don't understand, and I don't care what field they're in, but they don't understand the power of their femininity. They don't understand the power of tone, because tone is something that you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Tone is extraordinarily important when you want to get anything across to anyone. And if we understood the power of our tone and how we use our voice, then we would realize that we don't have to scream, we don't have to holler. Our tone is healing, and we use it as such.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's a good tip. Tone, everybody tone. So we know that. That is a good point because that's something that I even work on. You know, because and the reason I brought it up and you made a point because I have been categorized before as aggressive. And I was like, I'm aggressive? I don't think I'm aggressive. I just think I'm trying to go after what I want to go after.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring it out to see if other women, you know, felt that way, or do we have to have that?
You know, the thing is that it ain't so until I say it is. And no matter what anyone says, you have to look at the source. Why are they telling you that you're aggressive? And then at the same time, take a look at what someone is saying, because maybe they're trying to say something that could be helpful to you.
Constructive.
You know, so it's hard to blanket this aggressive thing, because sometimes we need to be aggressive. For example, if someone goes after my children, I'm going to be aggressive. You know, at the same time, if I'm going after something, I am going to be more assertive. And I think that sometimes we get the terms mixed up, assertive and aggressive. I think assertive is just as powerful. As a matter of fact, it may be more powerful than aggressive, because aggression can scare people away. Whereas when you're assertive, that's much more inclusive.
I'll ask this, and I know you had something you want to ask. What tip, I guess I could say, can you give to women? And the scenario could be, I'm just so used to corporate America, so I'll just use that as a scenario, but understand the you know, how far it can go. Maybe a woman in corporate America and all her counterparts are males, or VPs, or directors, or what have you. What would be a tip? Because women have said it seems like when I have to go, and I'm the only woman, and I have to go in the room with these other VPs or whatever, or my counterparts that are male counterparts, I feel I have to gear up for that, or, you know, a certain way. So what's a tip then that you would say to a woman in that type of position, or feel that she has to act a certain way when the majority of her counterparts are male?
You're not a man, baby. You know, and the reality is that
okay, babe,
you have to use your femininity. You have something that men don't have, and that is the power of the feminine. And when you try to be like a
do
man,
some monologues. No, go ahead. Sorry.
you can't be a man. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with you being a woman. Men love women. So be her professionally. No, wait, let me change that. Because I'm not telling you to be a professional woman like on
We don't know. Figures. Professional women.
But if you are on Van Buren, you find that those sisters approach men like women. They are very feminine. Hi, baby. You want some? You know, that's using your femininity, and the men respond.
Right.
Now, that's not what I'm suggesting that you do. I'm saying that there are ways that you have to understand how to use your woman. And that's what's important.
So workshop.
No. You know, I think that one of the mistakes that women make is that they think that they have to be like a man.
See, that was
you can't be a man.
my point.
And to just for another topic, just like a woman can't make a man when she's raising a son, she can't be a man in a professional setting. So there's a young woman who's in this room, and I'm not going to mention names, but I'm looking at her because the camera is
And she
not.
looks so beautiful.
This woman is a very professional woman.
Absolutely.
every time I see her, every time I hear her speak to anyone, no matter who it is, and I've seen her speaking to people who are in very high positions, she is always extremely feminine. Her tone is always just very beautiful. And she gets responses. She gets very positive responses. I think that we really need to begin to understand how important it is for us to woman up.
Okay, woman up.
Yep. All right. I love it. I totally agree. I've always had a problem. I mean, obviously feminism was interesting and useful at some point, historically speaking, but I've always had a problem with women with mustache and hairy legs, and I don't want to be that either. You know what I'm saying? I want to stay a woman. I want to attain things just like we all do, but no mustache like catfishing, no.
But we have to. But we define what woman is. We define. You know, it's if I want to wear hair on my legs, I'm going to do that. You know, it just so happens it just doesn't grow on my legs. But you know, and that's cool. But we define what woman is. It's like Kuji Chakalia, if you're familiar with Kwanzaa. You define who you are. You are the one who says what a woman is, what a woman wears. I mean, you're in jeans and a t-shirt, and look how feminine and beautiful you are. Both of you, you're in a t-shirt. We define what woman is. We don't let anyone else define that for us. And that's the bottom line.
That's it. It's a wrap. Well, thank you, Fatima. That was it. No, stay here. Right here, okay. We're going to come back with our next real women that I'm looking at somewhere right here about this area somewhere. Cafe 1140, downtown Phoenix. All right, we back downtown Phoenix, Cafe 1140. No, this isn't a fupa. We do have a man in the seat. He was brave enough to step up, and you know, so I appreciate that. I gotta applaud you for just being there. You know, you want a shirt? We can get you.
Sure.
Can we get him a shirt? What size is it?
Sure.
1X?
Like yes.
You need. Tell a little bit about what you do.
I run in. I've been in the entertainment industry for. It doesn't look like it, but probably about 15, 20 years, something like that, 20 years. So,
Okay.
but I currently run Radio Super. We are the largest urban music internet radio station here in the state, and stuff like that. We reach out to a lot of artists. You know, actually, I was coming to
you the largest.
Actually, I was coming to ask you for an interview tonight, but yeah, definitely. So you're in. So we'll talk later. But yeah, definitely. So we work with a lot of artists from here to New York, Texas, to California, and all that other stuff, and I do film, a lot of different areas of entertainment.
Entertainment. Are you attracted to a woman that seems to have some type of confidence or aggression or whatever we want to use that for? Like I said, we're not saying it's a bad word.
Yeah.
Or what do you look for?
I like the word confidence. And I don't think the aggression is a bad thing, depending on how it's placed. I mean, and you can see I'm at the Real Woman Revealed show, so that kind of gives some indication of some of the stuff that I might look at and some of the stuff that I might have respect for. But the confidence, yeah, definitely, because I think that confidence is one of the factors that helps you walk forward. It helps you decide to get in front of the camera. It helps you decide to do a lot of the things you do. The aggression, as long as it's used correctly. Like I consider myself. I remember you guys were talking earlier and stuff like that. I consider myself to not be like a destroyer. Like I'm not the person to break into you or break something. I'm not that person. You know what I mean? So I guess in terms of a woman, I wouldn't look for someone who's going to break, destroy you, stuff like that.
Has anybody ever broken your stuff? You know, like flatten your tires? Or, I mean, have you made that aggression come out in a woman? No.
I've had a couple kick the idea around, and not
Kick the idea around.
Kick the idea around. You know,
Idea around.
I've had a couple kick the idea around or something of that nature, but you know, in terms of a relationship, not because I'm purposely doing things to try to make somebody like that. That's not me. The confidence isn't a must-have. Intelligence, I feel like, is really, really significant in terms of a relationship. You know, ultimately, you know, I say that you know what you look like on the outside starts your relationship, but whatever else is inside you continues that relationship. So if there's not a lot happening in there, then you know it's not. I don't see it going that far and stuff like that, but. The confidence is definitely significant. Just like I said, the aggression, I think, depending on how it's used.
Okay. What you got for him?
I have a quick question. Curious to know. Obviously, in the entertainment industry, you deal with a lot of women. That's a fact.
Oh, dang.
And
Oh, wait.
what makes you not take a woman seriously when you deal on a business level? I'm talking business. I'm not talking relationship. Strictly business. So
Yeah.
when you deal with someone,
What makes me not take them
exactly.
serious?
What's that thing? You know what I'm saying? That you go, okay,
I can't do business with you.
I can't, exactly. Like, I know I can't do business with you. And it's something that's related to being a woman, honestly.
Yeah. Attitude is significant. Attitude is significant. Ethics are significant. And I know, let me see, I'm a little broad on those topics. Attitude is significant, I guess, in terms of how they choose to handle the situations that come up or handle the problems that come up. And I guess ethics play a part in that too. Whether you're going to be honest in business or whether you're going to just try to do what you need to do to get ahead. That's more of a turnoff to me. I guess just inside of my own upbringing and getting to where I got to, you know, we were younger, you know, and our parents were good to us and stuff. We never really had a lot of money, but we over the course of time became creative with the things that we had, and we used the little bit, and over the course of time we got really good at using a little bit to make a lot. So in a woman, I like it when a woman is able to focus on being good at what they're doing versus leaning too much on just the feminine side and not being good at what they're doing to get through doing, if that makes sense.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But let me ask you another quick question. Since you brought this up, do you think that women have a problem in the entertainment industry? I'm talking about what you do, basically. Do you think they have an issue with the self-assessment? When they look at themselves, they say, hey, you know what? These are my limits. This is what I can do versus men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's ceilings that all of us hit. I mean, there's ceilings that we might hit as a woman, we might hit, depending on what race we are, we might hit a ceiling for whatever it is. But I don't think that any ceiling is unbreakable, depending on how much energy you want to put into overcoming that or breaking through that ceiling. So in terms of women in the industry, it's interesting because there's a lot of women that, and this might just be the women that I end up surrounding myself around, or the women that end up staying surrounded around me are the ones that seem to be really respectable. They seem to be good at what they do. They seem to focus on being respected versus getting ahead very quickly by wearing a dress or something of that nature. You know what I mean? I don't know if that answered. Did that answer your question?
My question was more, and I know exactly what you're saying. Basically, that's, I totally agree. You can build on that. If you want to build a solid structure, you better own yourself and be steady and be good at what you do. But my question is, because there's there's different approaches, and people when they start, their journey, whatever that is, and they want to pursue their dreams, they have to assess themselves. This is what I have, this is what I go with. And for the most part, most part, some women tend to be in the dreamland where, oh, you too can be a ballerina. I actually had a conversation with someone a while back, and I said, you know what? I know my limits. I know I can't be a ballerina. She's like, well, if someone gives you a chance, I said, I don't think so.
Right, what does that look like? How big institute to,
I know that.
Exactly, you got to know that. You got to know your
I want to
limits.
give myself a chance. Let's get real.
Self-assessment.
Exactly. Do you think women have a tendency of being more like, oh, I can do this, or whatever.
Or the self-assessment.
They go a little bit like this, I'm better than I actually am,
In the entertainment.
Do you think that?
In the
don't have that?
Okay. And I'm glad you described it. I think that if for those women, those are probably not the women that either hit my radar or I end up working with very long. I just don't, because just like you said, we have we want to figure out the things that we're good at and the things that we can be good at, and not just try to say, hey, I a long time ago, I used to play basketball when I was younger, but I realized, okay, TJ, you might not dunk, and that's okay. And I realized that, and over the course of time, it's like I build on the things that I have strength in, and there are some other things where I might make a song about a guy dunking. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you could, so that's how you'll get it.
Yeah, that's how. So I think that I do think that women should take a realistic view. Women and men should all take a realistic view. We watch self-assessment. We watch American Idol and see a lot of people who haven't taken that self-assessment.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you getting in the hot seat for Real Women Reveal. And we look at it and edit it. If we don't like it, we'll just cut it out. No, I'm just kidding. We wouldn't do like that.
Right.
We just want your opinion. Not on film, not on camera. No, I'm just kidding. Appreciate that. We'll be back for Real Women Reveal, Cafe 1140, downtown Phoenix. Cafe 1140, downtown Phoenix. We're back, Real Women Reveal. And my girl Cynthia, author Cynthia Miller here. She came in being revealed, so that's what I'm talking about. I like that representation. That's what's up. We're gonna keep the flow going. Talking about, and as I said before, not to say aggression is bad, just how the perception. Perception is not reality. So people perceive that women may be aggressive or acting like a man, in business, or sometimes how they act with their male counterparts. And this is not saying all women, but some women do feel that because maybe they work around men or the primarily men, VPs, directors in a certain type of realm, that they have to act a certain way and lose some of their femininity. So we're just going to stick to that. But you can give us a quick snippet, your name, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Cynthia Miller. I have a book out. I also have a program out called Get Up and Show Up, where people get up and to inspire women, especially to get up and show up for their life. As far as the subject of aggression, do you mind if I address that?
Hey, we're revealing. You're being aggressive. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm being aggressive here. Let me be aggressive. Let me clear the air on what I think about women being aggressive in the boardroom. I don't think that just because a woman is powerful in business, it makes her aggressive. And that she's being aggressive simply because she feels as though she needs to hold her ground around men. I don't think that that's true. Myself, I'm not so much as aggressive as much as that inside I know that I'm powerful beyond measure. And so when I come into a room, whether it's the boardroom filled with men or the women in the office who are maybe wishing to take my place, I come in not aggressive but confident. I like the way that word confident was thrown around. I worked with Alana, and probably aggression may be the one word people may be thinking at my office, but That is not true. I don't come in aggressive because I feel like I got to be able to keep up with the men. I am powerful beyond measure, and women need to know that they are powerful beyond measure. So they don't have to be aggressive to keep up with the men. I need an aggressive man that can keep up with me. No!
Get up and show up.
Get up and show up. Exactly.
So I was kind of piggyback a little bit off of that you said maybe women wish they were where you were. You said something about the men in the boardroom versus the women in the, in the office they may be. So let me ask you this, I'm going to touch on that. Your confidence that you exude, whether some people may want to say it's aggression, whether they're hating them, want to say it's aggression or whatever. When you said that some women want to be maybe where you're at or feel as powerful or show some of that confidence, what do you think, when you said they want to be like you, well, why aren't they? Not saying they can be Cynthia, but why aren't they taking the necessary steps? What do you think why they're not taking the necessary steps to say, hey, I want to get to the boardroom, or I want to exceed, or I want to break whatever glass ceiling that is? What do you think when you said they want to be that, but something's holding them back?
I think that's what's holding them back is that they themselves do not know that they are powerful beyond measure. And so when I say that, I myself looked at women who were in boardrooms and running companies and being successful, and I wanted to be like that. There's nothing wrong with admiring the position that someone is in. Hey, I like that position. Hey, I like the way she's doing things. I want to be in that position. So I took the necessary steps to take my life in that direction. So yes, when I say that, it's because in my heart I knew that I was powerful beyond measure. And so if I see enough, and right now I'm always trying to put my measurements up to a whole nother level. So right now I'm looking at other women who are in positions that I'm like, wow, that's powerful. The lady who was on here who spoke about the things that she was doing in our community for almost 20 years, I thought, wow, that's powerful beyond measure. And I admired that. So you can either take an admiration to it, an inspiration to it, or you can take it in a negative way like, oh, you know, I don't want to be like her. Yes, I do. I want to be powerful beyond measure. I'm inspired by strong black women. And I don't go into a boardroom or I don't run a company or a business because I have to be aggressive for men. I'm aggressive because I'm going to the top and I'm powerful beyond measure.
Exactly. When I grow up, I want to be like you. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree, and obviously I've known Cynthia.
And I think that confidence and aggression sometimes get a little mixed up. I'm aggressive when I have to be, and I'm confident from the minute my feet hit the floor.
So that's all day,
24/7. 24/7, because I believe in me.
Right.
And because I've looked at other women that were powerful beyond measure, that were doing things, and I looked at them, I admired them, I was inspired by them. I wanted to get up and show up for my life, you know. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's wonderful. I don't go in a boardroom and look around at the men sitting there in their ties and their suit coat and think, oh man, I want to be like them. I want to be like those men over there that's running the company. No, I walk in the boardroom and say, didn't have to wear my jock strap to come in here, buddy. Okay? Or my mustache.
There's no burning bras.
No burning bras over here, buddy. Yeah, you guys are a little shocked. Yeah, I'm a little shocked you're in here with me.
Exactly.
Okay, not that I'm in your boardroom. You are now in my arena.
I have that once I hit the floor. Confidence.
Confidence.
Without measure.
Without measure.
What you got for
I wanted to ask her, how does she solve work conflicts? And I want her to share this because
work conflicts?
yes, conflicts in the workplace, especially those between women.
Between women.
I've known
She worked with me, that's why she's going to throw that
It's a
up
whole
there.
setup, right?
we had a great time working together. But I want her to reveal her secret. Because we've had situations with conflicts between women, and I want her to share
Very
that with
catty
you.
conflicts before you advise her.
All sorts of-
Were they very more on the catty side, or was it just a business issue?
catty business, all bad. Yeah, all bad. And the way that I solve issues at my office, whether it's between women, between men, everybody plays their position. And if I'm running it, the conflict is now over.
There was never
solved the conflict.
the conflict.
As I ended, yeah, it's only going to go a certain way. You know what I mean? And first off, I'm business first. I've lost many friends from business because I don't get them mixed up. You know, I can do business with you and we not be friends. Or we can be friends and it's just impossible for us to do business. You know, so I'm going to play my position. I'm either going to play your friend or your business partner. You know what I mean? So there, I've had those type of issues. Owana did work with me and that is my policy. That it is my policy. That's pretty much how I handle it. That I shut it down, and most of the time I'll probably fire anyone who causes a conflict in my place of business. You're done.
Right. So don't tread lightly. But before we get out, I want to make sure I touch on this, because you said you lost several friends.
Yes.
In the past. Do you let that friend or business partner know, like if we were friends, would you just tell me up front, Audrey, I just can't do business with you? You know what I'm saying? Do you make sure to let me know that, or I like our friendship too much, I can't do business, or I just want to do business with that person and I'm not trying to gain a friendship with you? You know, they may ask you, okay, let's go out for whatever. No, we keep it strictly business. Do you make sure that they know that?
I'm very, very meticulous about generally not mixing business with friendship. This is some of the rare occasions where very good friends of mine are in business that we can mix up together and network together.
Why do you think that we can do that? Because not all, you know, we all have friends that do different things, that have different roles or similar occupations or whatever, but we can't necessarily do business with each other. Like reinventing the wheel or something. So it's like, let's not reinvent the wheel, let's collaborate together. Why do you think that we can't do that?
Because we are on that level and we've reached that level. So I've been fortunate enough to be in a bond with some people who we're progressing on the same level, and we have the same goals.
And we want to see
each other succeed. And so support is something that goes both ways. You know what I mean? I'm going to get up and show up for her, and I was actually, and these ladies get up and show up for me. But I think for me, myself, I don't do business with any of my friends. I'm in business over here, and we all get together, and we really don't do business together. We support each other's causes, but we don't do business. I don't do her business. She doesn't do my business. I don't do your business. We get together and talk about our positions in our business world,
and how we can collaborate,
certain things, a whole separate collaboration over here. But we don't do business together because we are friends. And you know what? As friends and women who are all in business, it makes us even more powerful beyond measure.
But they not really.
Because we're bringing so many different things to the table.
They can understand that if we work together in the sense, not saying I'm trying to do your business or you trying to do my business, but if we work together in collective ways, we can excel to a higher level. Ladies, we just got to know that. We got to let
we have to be inspired and not intimidated.
Exactly, inspired. So we're going to end on inspired. We good to end on inspired? Because we get ready to get something to eat. Cafe 1140, downtown Phoenix.
Talking about.
Okay. This is real sad talk.
I have a sad
Off camera. This is like that behind the scenes.
I don't know how to answer politically correct.
Well, we don't want politically correct.
I don't want
PC up in here.
Do we look like politically
Put Byron in the hot seat.
No, but like, I have a question. My question is this: if you are in a competition for whatever your goal is,
Competition for your goal.
do you think that competing against a woman is harder than competing against a man?
Is that it doesn't?
see, it's not about aggression.
So it doesn't depend on what they're competing for.
I'm talking about the principle. Like, you know, if you are going to achieve whatever, like, who do you think is your fiercest competitor? A man or a woman?
Other.
I think I have a little up on a man. You know what I'm saying? And even if you do you still got good look.
So you would feel that then a woman may be a tougher competition than that man.
No, not necessarily.
You gotta.
I don't.
You compete differently. Do you compete differently because it's a man and than a woman? I mean, like, so you guys are. It's three of you guys, another woman and another man. So you feel more confident you'll get whatever you're looking for?
I don't compete at all. Either it happens or not, depending on what it is or what you're trying to accomplish. Now, if you're trying to accomplish something, yeah, you're going to totally be a lot different to a man than you would a woman. Outside of that, because another woman's going to look at you anyway.
Women, okay, that's
not. They're going to look at you like that.
So as soon as sometimes women see you, they immediately look at you, and it's a competition. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with some of that. Do women?
I mean, every woman.
She's talking to the cameraman. You said you. Say that again.
We're not.
No, say no. Say that. Say that.
I said that men regard each other as competition.
Oh, men versus men.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just said something else.
Kidding me?
But what you said was you touched on something good because you said when a woman sees you sometimes, she automatically sees you and thinks competition. And I agree with that sometimes. And that's why women won't give each other a chance but that's something in self. If you look at another woman and you start, because she looks a certain way or dresses a certain way, then the hating or whatever.
Everybody's that's what they do.
But now, okay, let's go back. Are we talking like on a professional level, or are we talking on like a personal level?
On what?
Because if a woman sees you as a
I've had it both ways. I've had it both ways in corporate America.
If it's like professional, it doesn't bother me because it's like normal. Obviously, you know.
Because it's corporate America. Yeah, it's a
Because
norm.
you have to, you know.
That's what's
be competitive. Yeah. But personal is just a totally different story. You know, like going around
I've had that happen
and seeing
on
in
a professional level too.
You have?
I've had that happen where I could be, and it may not be that I'm trying to, we're not competing against anything, but because we're there.
Right.
Pretty much you could be in the same job, but they're looking at you like, you know, she's been here longer, she may know more, but now she's competition. Because of where they're trying to go. It's like we're trying to go. They try to do the same thing. It's automatic.
Well, you deal with bullshit with the animals, the four-legged ones, we can't put BS.
She
I mean,
said,
I got rid of the bullshit, like the gossip.
is it like one of those bleep things that
Yeah.
you ain't bleep, bleep.
like
bleep.
women have to deal with that?
Why you do bleep?
That was a bleep. That's a wrap, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess we'll end it on that. No competition, healthy competition with the ladies. Healthy competition. All right, we'll be back with our next Real Women at Cafe 1140. Or man, yeah, we had a man on hot seat, so I'm looking. Men, raise your hand. Don't be going out the door, men. No, I'm just kidding. Cafe 1140 downtown. We just want to let you know, we down here at Cafe 1140.
Oh, but see, I thought you were trying to get me on say something.
I don't know. What are you saying? Are you saying something?
No, not at all.
See, he's eating.
I think real women always reveal.
You guys finishing? No. Thank you.
And you are Spencer, Chairman Spencer
That'll be I.
of this beautiful
Cafe 1140.
establishment.
Yes.
And what's his name? What's your name?
Kirkland Johnson, the one and only. The one and only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you hear any of our
I was snooping a little bit,
A little bit?
trying to figure out the secret.
the secret? What
Yeah.
secret?
That's what I'm still trying to figure out.
we tell you, we had to kill you.
I'm just trying to figure out, I guess I'll catch it on YouTube.
So you heard a little bit about, so you can just give your one-liner or whatever, and you heard us mention, we want to talk about aggressive being necessarily a bad word, but what do you think about that, about the competing or women trying to, when they may have all their counterparts maybe, and should they feel a certain way, or what should they exude? Cynthia came in and said just command it, but let's hear a little bit from you.
On the comment on that.
What's your name again? Kirk. You can take that.
I think this is a beautiful time, a beautiful period for women right now. You can see it in the politics, you can see it in the office. A lot of women in managerial positions, and I think they're doing a great job. But in terms of just commanding, I think just be.
Just be.
It's like the beautiful woman inside.
Is that real confidence? Is that attracted to you? Is that what you seek out, or if you see a very confident woman?
It's one of the most boisterous silences, if you will.
Boisterous silence.
Yes.
If they're not.
Just being.
Just being.
And that goes. I mean. Look at First Lady, the First Lady.
Absolutely.
She doesn't have to walk around saying, I'm the First Lady of the United States.
Right.
But she knows she's the First Lady of the United States.
It exudes.
It exudes. Okay. But the thing is, I was sharing with my wife, that doesn't come overnight, and it doesn't come in a few years.
Sure.
It really, it's a lifetime. That stuff is inbred. It takes time. So good upbringing, for young ladies, catching them early and putting great values and helping their esteem along the way.
It does.
Look at the mama.
Look at the mama.
Look at the mama.
All right, well.
Now, shall I interject?
Please.
If I may, could you reframe the question so I'll make sure I respond to that?
You want to reframe it, maybe the Romanian accent will assist a little better.
Well, we're just curious to know what you think about women being aggressive, if this is something negative or not. Aggressive woman, whatever that is, makes you feel uncomfortable, or you find that attractive?
Because you're an attorney, so
It doesn't matter where we're talking about aggressiveness. We're talking a boardroom, a bedroom.
Let's talk about the boardroom first.
We're talking business, sir.
We'll end on
I don't think anyone needs to be aggressive in the boardroom. All you need to be is confident. And I think it speaks for itself.
Okay.
So whether you're male or female, gender has no place in the boardroom. I think they both command respect. It's the person and the message. So if a woman feels she has to posture in such a manner that will show any type of masculinity, then she may not be the person for the job. So
don't let that femininity go. That's what she.
It has nothing to do with role. It's all about capacity.
Okay.
And if you're confident, you can handle whatever situation is. Ergo, if a man is in an environment that's predominantly female, should he act feminine in order to get his message across? I think he need not to assimilate that message.
Should his sensitive side come out?
Oh, you should keep a sensitive side and wear that with them all at all times. Right. But if it doesn't call for sensitivity, then that's not a place. Now, aggressiveness from a female in the bedroom, power to the people.
Power to the people. That is your must-have. That's a must-have.
I'm all for it, because sometimes I like to regress just a little bit.
Oh, you want to?
Throw my hands in the air, wave them like I just don't care, and say, who's my
No.
mama? I'm just saying.
See when we let the men get on the camera?
We just trying to keep it real. When this is not what keeping it real go wrong. This is right.
Keep it right. Keep it right.
So we all good. We're all good. I think a female is probably the most important and most valuable species God ever placed on this earth. Because I know I wouldn't be here without it. I don't want to exist without it.
Right.
So I have nothing but respect and charity.
That's what's up.
And it doesn't matter what room is it. Boardroom, bedroom, any room. Just be yourself.
All right, you heard it from the owner, Spencer, Cafe 1140, downtown Phoenix.
Love women. Love all you women.